Hygiene for All is a houseless designed and run hygiene and sanitation hub with on-site trained attendants. Through 4 months of weekly focus group meetings, we have built a site plan, services, and employee patron guidelines that reflect our community's values and needs. Portland currently suffers from a serious lack of public bathrooms. Houseless folks in particular struggle to find places to relieve themselves because of cafe and restaurant customer-only toilet policies. In a city of 500,000 people, with more than 2,000 living on the streets, we have a paltry 9 permanent restrooms open year-round to the public. And even these are often locked after midnight and frequently shut down when items are flushed that the plumbing cannot handle. Portland's challenges are undeniably large. Houseless folks not only lack bathrooms, they have no place to legally throw their trash away, and few affordable places to launder their clothing and bedding. These barriers to basic hygiene place all Portlanders at risk. They place them at risk for hepatitis A, MRSA, bed bugs, as well as fungal, strep, staph, and skin infections, which include scabies, head lice, and body lice. Wet blankets and clothing weaken the immune systems of our most physically fragile residents, magnifying the spread of seasonal colds, viruses, and pneumonia. Without access to hygiene, our houseless residents experience discrimination, exclusion, and shunning, which in turn amplifies personal trauma, depression, and other mental illnesses, already exacerbated by policies that evict 10% of the houseless population on a weekly basis, and disproportionately ticket and arrest houseless folks for crimes of survival such as trespass and failure to pay loitering and parking tickets. Our solution to these problems is to offer a participatory model of houseless designed and run bathrooms. This model and our practices reflect the hygiene needs and struggles that our homeless constituents experience on a daily basis. Our bathrooms also welcome housed residents. This reverses the usual situation where people who live in houses serve those who live on the streets. Instead, our program provides an opportunity for our unsheltered neighbors to offer something of value to those who are housing secure. Our Hygiene Hub and advocacy creates connection and engagement across the housing divide, not only by providing hygiene access to housed folks, but also by offering workshops and education to neighborhood associations, businesses, and city leaders. In short, our program isn't just about meeting important community needs. It is also about leveraging Portland's houseless community's experience and know-how in terms of the factors that discourage or prevent them from accessing life-critical water, toilets, waste management services, and fresh laundry. It is equally about expanding opportunities for agency in problem solving, agency in resolving community conflict, and agency through greater participation in civic discussions and plans that address Portland's current housing, hygiene, and sanitation emergencies. What you see before you is our site plan. Each night from 7 p.m. to 7 a.m., we will offer 3 4-hour shifts of work to 2 attendants each. A staff tent provides a place that the evening's employees doing later shifts can sleep and store their belongings so they needn't trek long distances back to their camps in the dark. We have a clothing and bedding exchange and recycling area as well. As we receive soiled items, we will sort them into items to be laundered and redistributed and items to be recycled into rags. We additionally have 2 dumpsters where homeless patrons can dispose of household trash. We will also do our own nightly cleanups of the surrounding blocks adjacent to our site. We are also partnering with Portland Street Medicine to create a basic first aid protocol that we can offer patrons with minor health issues. Finally, we offer 2 ADA porta potties and a hand wash station placed outside the gated hub. These will be monitored and cleaned after each use during our hours of operation. To make our site a hub of hygiene, sanitation, and enhanced community safety, we are partnering with several seasoned operations whose values are aligned with ours. Sisters of the Robe will collaborate on trainings related to de-escalation, nonviolence, and practices for fostering an explicitly anti-racist, anti-sexist, and anti-homophobic and transphobic workplace. Portland Street Medicine will develop a special basic first aid protocol and training program that our attendants can use. The Charitable Partnership Fund serves as our fiscal sponsor, and we are applying to Metro for funding to support our bedding and clothing exchange and recycling program. We are additionally soliciting other private donors and foundations to fund other hub activities. Neighbor to Neighbor, and hopefully other data scientists from relevant city bureaus and local universities will aid in helping H4A to develop metrics for benchmarking our economic and social impact on the surrounding area. And finally, PBOT is supporting our efforts to provide us a site for our operations. As we evaluate the impact of our program and accumulate lessons learned from the pilot, we will be working to develop a core group of attendants to help us assess and communicate our successes and areas for improvement to the broader community. A houseless designed and led hygiene hub requires time to organize and build a robust understanding of the barriers and struggles our unsheltered neighbors face. Over 4 months, we have held weekly meetings to build trust and investment in the process. This work has been essential to building a program that accurately reflects the needs and aspirations of the community. In the next 3 months, we will design a de-escalation, site management, and basic first aid protocol and trainings with partners at Sisters of the Road and Portland Street Medicine. We will also begin engaging housed neighbors and businesses to identify shared community goals we can all rally around. By late January, our trained hygiene hub will have a soft opening where we offer services on a shortened basis, working out best practices through iterative assessment. By February, we will open 7 p.m. to 7 a.m. and roll out a program of regular community engagement and feedback work to adjust our practices as we go. Moving slowly the first year and second year will allow us to adjust processes and systems, develop a how-to kit for use in other neighborhoods, and finally develop rigorous measures for assessing H4A's economic, social, and environmental impact. This toolkit and data-backed impact evidence will position us well to replicate the program in other neighborhoods. Thus far, we have developed a preliminary set of primary and secondary measures of program impact and success. The primary measures are fairly self-explanatory. The secondary measures bear some explanation. With respect to lowered 911 calls, given San Francisco's experiences with attended bathrooms, we anticipate that our presence and the hours we will be open should result in a reduction of 911 calls in a 2 to 4 block radius around our facilities. With respect to first responder calls for mental health, EMTs, and arrests, we hope that our basic first aid protocols and de-escalation training will mitigate conflict and strife in the area, thereby reducing the need for that kind of emergency intervention. Given that a recent study found that 70% of waste collected by city bureaus consisted of clothing and bedding, we believe that our clothing and bedding exchange will divert a significant amount of solid waste from the waste stream. To measure these impacts, Neighbor to Neighbor and Hygiene for All are in the beginning phases of designing our concepts, methods, and practices for measuring program success. We wish to use our pilot as a natural experiment by comparing the environment around us before and after implementation, and also by comparing similar public bathroom sites where attendant services are offered, as well as public bathrooms that don't have any attendants. This pilot is meant to be the foundation for assessing how our city as a whole benefits from peer-run and peer-led programs that advance the agency and civic participation of those historically marginalized from the halls of power and of science. We welcome your thoughts, help, and support in achieving our goals. Please go to our website to learn how to contact, collaborate, volunteer, or donate to our cause. A cause which, more than anything else, is profoundly about love and an abiding faith in the capacities of housed and unhoused communities to transform our neighborhoods into places of inclusion and genuine civic connection and participation.